honestly speaking, once I quit my corporate job, this is when I retired. Trading is not a job for me, it's a passion, and I want to trade for the rest of my life.
They have been listed on FTMO's leaderboard over 120 times over the last 10 years of trading full-time.
Bernd, Skorupinski.
Stop focusing on money and get immediately right from the beginning, focus on process, get process oriented.
I think most people approach it with the get rich quick approach when the only people that make money in trading are the people who get rich slow.
Trading is basically a poker table. It's like circling around the poker table, right?
Yeah.
And trading at the end of the day is a zero-sum game.
Any new trader who's interested in getting started, what would be your one piece of advice that you would give them?
So overall, in a nutshell, I would say,
hey guys, before we get started, I just wanted to offer you access to my exclusive Wolfpack Discord group that's now based on WAP. Basically what you're gonna get in here is something I call the Quantum Cipher Report. This allows you to steal and copy all of my trades and learn my exact trading system. Every Monday, I'm gonna give you the best crypto altcoin picks that are getting ready for explosive moves. I'm also going to give you the best trade setups in Forex, futures, and CFDs as well. You have to be a multi-asset trader if you truly want to take advantage of the entire trading environment as a whole. Not only that, you're going to get access to the Discord, all of my courses, over 30 hours of recorded educational content, in addition to my TradingView degenerate indicators. Okay, so if you want access to my WAP, there's going to be a link below. Join the Wolfpack and get all of the best trading picks in crypto, Forex, and futures sent to you every Monday. On top of that, 30 hours of educational content so you can learn my entire system, all for one low monthly price. I'll see you there. All right, guys, today we got a special guest, Bernd.
yes,
Who's been on a podcast hot streak all over the world.
exactly.
Thanks for coming out to Bali to do this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I guess, in a nutshell, why are you doing this podcast world tour and what is the message that you're trying to portray here?
To cut a long story short, so I only went on social media. I mean, I've seen so when you invited me and I checked your YouTube channel, I've seen that you've been on social media on YouTube for like almost 15 years.
Yeah.
So this
since 2009.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's inspiring by itself.
Yeah.
So I've been on YouTube on social media only for a year now, basically, right?
So you're fresh and motivated.
I'm
old and burnt out, but we're the same age.
So yes, we're basically the same age. It's also funny, right? When we had a chat beforehand. But why I'm doing all of this, so I like to spread the word. So what I've seen on social media is actually quite crazy, if you think about it, in terms of what kind of information is being shared, in terms of false knowledge, that I would say. So I would really like to spread the word about real trading and how this is being done. And I think doing podcasts now is really a great medium to like spread the word, because people really love to watch podcasts, right? Yeah. So that's why I'm on that tour, to spread the word, basically. Yeah,
it's definitely a different mode of issuing a message, in the fact that, a lot of stuff that attracts people to trading is this short 60-second clip or a photo of a Lamborghini, and that's the only thing they care about, but they don't understand really what's going on behind the scenes. They get enticed by the upfront marketing of the flashiness. So it's awesome that you're doing podcasts to kind of, I guess, weasel your way, not weasel your way, wrong word, but like kind of like cut a knife through the bullshit that's being portrayed as what trading actually is, when that's not the reality. That's just the upfront marketing on the front end.
Yes, and I'm all for, transparency, credibility, also in a way to showcase some certifications, right? We can talk about this later, because the problem in the trading space, I think, and this is the only business in the world, the only profession in the world where there is no accreditation system, no like certification system, and everybody can talk just about trading and also sell trading, sell a service without having any background really in trading, no certification, no accreditation. And yes, and I'm telling people that they have to look, so if people are looking for mentors, for instance, right, they have to really look for credible people who can showcase some kind of transparency in their trading, some kind of certifications, some kind of accreditations, whatever that means, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, I guess, influencers coming into play. Like even in, not to put a target on women in this space in a negative way, but like during the whole crypto run of like 2021, there was so many crypto influencer women that had clearly a very minuscule amount of knowledge about trading, but they're just showing tits and sexy pictures and posting charts along with it. But it's thirst traps for guys that then help sell a product. So it's just like,
yeah. So I've seen that you are mostly into crypto, right? So I'm not into crypto at all. So I consider myself a multi-asset trader. So I started trading stocks, and then my whole life I traded for the past 10 plus years. I traded futures, the underlying asset. And then because of the prop firm space, I went into Forex as well, only 3 or 4 years ago. So people nowadays consider me a Forex trader, although I'm not a real Forex trader. Because of prop trading, I do Forex. I would consider myself a multi-asset trader, but mostly like trading futures. But yeah, in the Forex space, it's not the women, right? It's more like what I call them, quote unquote, the Miami boys, right? Showcasing, like all the Lambos, flashing cars, money, piles of money, expensive watches. So showcasing this lifestyle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's similar, but it's, I guess, similar target group in a way.
Yeah. So I guess in a nutshell, what do you think about that whole circle of Miami guys that all kind of look the same? They're all covered in tats, all have like 5 Lambos, and all kind of are under the same network of the same exact marketing tactic. And it's kind of like this weird little circle that they have there.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say anything negative about that, but it is kind of cringe looking at it from the outside perspective. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a bit controversial because on the one hand side, it's marketing. And I don't really care what people do as their marketing, as long as they are consistent in their trading, as long as they can showcase transparency in their trading, right? So, however, what these Miami boys are doing is basically they don't show any kind of transparency in their trading. There's no certification that they have to basically prove that they're real traders. So first of all, we have to also define or determine what is a trader.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is really important, because nowadays, everybody who just opens up a brokerage account, and you can open up a brokerage account within like 60 minutes, you deposit money with a credit card, it's quick and easy, and then you place your first trade, and you can call yourself a trader. But however, Cameron, you and me, we consider ourselves a trader as well. So there's a big gap between us and the one who just opened up a brokerage account, right? So for me, a trader, the real definition of a trader is somebody who consistently make money with trading months over months over months. So the keyword here is consistency. And this is exactly what these Miami boys cannot showcase, right? So their marketing, so these are basically false claims, because what they are portraying is, hey, all this wealth, all this materialistic wealth, they saying all this materialistic wealth, they basically gained through trading success. And this is just not true. And this is when the marketing is like becoming what you said also cringe, and what is like a false claim. And this is then tends to be like scammy in a way as well. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have an issue with them making money on the other side. We both make money on that other side as well. As long as you're transparent. I tell people all the time that, like, when my biggest year trading was probably 2021 crypto bull. I made about little under 2 million trading, but I also sold $5 million that year in courses. But I couldn't sell $5 million in courses. The only reason why I was able to sell that money in courses was because I made content about making just under 2 million in trading. And so I don't see them talking a lot about all the profit side. They're mostly just showing Lamborghini's lifestyle, and they're not talking anything about them making money in the business side, whether it be through a prop firm, an offshore Forex broker that's unregulated, or their courses. I just feel like there's definitely a lack of transparency about where the money is coming from. And they're mostly just saying, Forex, baby, Lambos.
Yeah. And and by the way, it's not transparent just to open up my MT4 and MT5 and showcasing how much money I'm in, how much profit I'm in right now, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the way how you have to show transparency, right? Because that's what they're doing as well.
Yeah.
And this is like, again, their target audience is clearly, the 16 to 20-year-old unexperienced new traders who are falling for these claims.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because when you're 16, who doesn't want a fucking Lambo?
Exactly. Yeah, I remember. When my first car, I spent all my money, for like a nice car. I remember that as well. Like, we are over that period, obviously, but yes, that's clearly their target audience, right?
Yeah, I think there's obviously there's the notion of money doesn't buy happiness, but nobody can be explained that. You have to figure that out for yourself, that all this material wealth that you accumulate isn't going to change the underlying happiness you're going to have. It can be a short-term spike of endorphins and, this is like a cool sense of accomplishment, make you feel a little bit better about your pride and ego, but eventually that fades and you're just back to, and especially with these guys, and I went through the same thing as well, is they just keep having to buy another car or buy another thing to showcase on social media to continue that ball of the social media marketing. And that's kind of where I kind of got burnt out and actually quit trading for 2 years. Was I just got stuck in that lifestyle marketing of where I had to continually buy something new to showcase on social media to continue portray this image of the trader lifestyle, which is just kind of a burnout at the end of the day. So that's I think a lot of them are all in that same situation. They're all still young. A lot of them are still under 25.
Yeah.
And so they're going to figure out at some point that this is going to get a little bit of burnout. They're probably going to continue to get called out for bullshit, and that's probably going to eat at them a little bit inside, and to the point where they have to kind of come to terms and be a little bit more, I guess, honest with themselves and honest with their community. Brief interruption here, guys. Did you know that 75% of traders have accounts under $25,000? This creates a huge problem because even if you double that account in a year, which is almost impossible, you're still only making $25,000. Introducing Hydra Funding, where you can potentially get access up to $500,000 in capital. All you have to do, guys, is sign up for a challenge account, which is going to give you potentially access up to $500,000. And if you earn a 10% profit in this demo account without going into a 5% loss overall or a 4% loss in a day, you will then pass their evaluation phase and, yes, get access to an account with the selected size account. And now, instead of trying to double a $10,000 account, you could potentially earn only 10% on a $100,000 account to earn the same level of profits. And the benefits of this are huge. Rather than risking your entire $10,000 on one account, you can use just $1,000 to potentially get access to $100,000 in capital. You can trade crypto, Forex, stocks, CFTs, gold, oil, everything under the sun, all on MT4 and MT5. If you're interested, if you have an account under $25,000, like 75% of traders out there, you're not going to make any money with that account because it's too small. Get access to pro level funding and pro level capital with Hydra Funding. Link's going to be below.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. At the end of the day, it's a short-term cash grab, what they're doing, right? It's nothing long-lasting. It's nothing sustainable as well. And as you said, at some point of time, they're going to be called out, or they're already being called out, and they're just pushing the envelope in a way that, until it's the end.
So regardless of that, prior to trading, you were in the corporate engineering space, and then you eventually found your way into trading. So tell us a little bit more about your upbringing and your career path of how do you even get to engineering, and then how did you go from engineering to now full-time trader?
Actually, not really engineering. I just had I would say a normal corporate business job.
Yeah.
So I was like so I started trading basically 12 years ago while I was still having a corporate job. I just have a normal business university degree. After my university degree, I immediately moved to Dubai. I got a corporate job in the automotive sector.
Yeah.
There I had like a normal, literally 9 to 5 corporate job where I was sitting in front of the screen at the desk, had a 9 to 5 grind. Actually, I would even say a 7 to 10 grind, like 12, 14, 16 hour grind in the very beginning. It was really harsh. So and this made me realize pretty quickly that the corporate world is for me. I always tell people as well in podcasts or anywhere where I am, I don't want to demonize the corporate world. For some people, it's like that perceived safety net is great. People love that. There's strife in that corporate world. That's all fine. But based on my individual experience, it was just not for me. And when I woke up, when I went to bed at night and when I woke up in the morning, I was thinking, can I do this for the rest of my life? And I clearly said, no, that's not my path.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something different, like for various reasons. I think for all the stereotypical reasons, I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to be paid based on performance. I wanted to have more time freedom. Time was always, by the way, super valuable for me. It was never about the money. It was really about time in terms of I have 24 hours a day and I want to do I want to be productive in my way during these 24 hours and not in somebody else's way. And so I decided, hey, trading can provide all of these benefits. So I went into trading, and to cut a long story short, it went pretty well. I quit my job pretty quickly, and everything else is history, by the way. And ever since, I'm a full-time trader.
Yeah.
So I always say that people go, and I would like to know maybe your why as well. So there is always a specific reason why people go into trading. There's always a bigger purpose behind, a bigger why, and there's always a pain in a way, because otherwise people would not go into trading. They would stick to their
which is also painful.
Which is also that's what they realize once they're in. But they have a different pain before they go venture into trading. And my pain was the corporate world, that I didn't feel like that there's a purpose, that I cannot build legacy in this corporate world. So that's why this was my pain, and that's why I ventured into trading. Maybe you can elaborate also on your pain, or was it just different?
I guess mine was a little different because I never entered the corporate world.
You didn't have.
I got started in trading while I was in college.
Okay.
And so for me, I was always fascinated by the stock market. The only reason I was going to school is to go to business finance and become a stockbroker.
Okay.
But at the time, I didn't even know what a stockbroker was. I just saw movies like Wall Street and Boiler Room, which is actually more so about like penny stock pump and dumps, but an awesome movie. But I was just kind of fascinated by what trading was. Like, my best friend's dad's growing up worked for Solomon Smith Barney as a broker. Our other friend worked for the same company as a broker, and they're always just dressed well, drove BMWs, and were kind of like a local image of what I kind of saw in the movies. But movies were obviously a little bit more crazy, of cocaine, hookers, and parties.
Living this fast-paced lifestyle, right? And it's so funny, since you're mentioning that we are basically coming from the same generation, and back in the days, our role models, or how we found out about trading, was not through social media per se. It was like through Hollywood movies. For me, the exact same stories. I was like looking at these movies, and it looked so in a way, surreal. Yeah. Because I couldn't really grasp what it is like to be a trader. But at the end of the day, I thought, well, this is a profession, and most probably, so since there are like consistently profitable trader out there, it's like back then you knew people in Chicago, you knew people on the exchanges. Yeah. So you thought, okay, there must be a way to learn this professionally. And that's why I went into that, because of the movies, and okay, let's try this out. And not because of social media. And nowadays, exactly, it's the opposite. This was not a thing. And luckily, actually, because I'm also getting asked a question quite a lot, is like, how would you start trading now? If you had to start trading today, how would you basically get into trading? And I always tell people, I have no freaking idea, because nowadays the information is so widespread, and the amount of information is just so overwhelming. And if you're young, new to trading, it's so hard and to find real, valid, credible information, knowledge, skill about trading, because 90% of the information out there is just pure BS.
So when you first got started and you were at your corporate world, what was the trigger? Like, what did you see? Did you see something or watch a movie that you're like, this, or you saw somebody else doing something that you found to be potentially replicatable?
Yeah, I saw also I think I just watched some, I can't really remember. There was not the real trigger, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's just also, I watched some Hollywood movies and this was like really, really attractive. You saw the fast-paced life, you know, all these day traders nicely dressed, as you said, sitting in front of 6 or 7 screens.
Yeah.
By the way, this is like, again, these are movies. You don't need that. I have one screen at home. Like I have multiple screens, but mostly this is for social media, you know?
Yeah. I used to have a huge 6-array setup. I didn't need it, but it was for photos and marketing that
exactly.
looked cool.
So I have these two, you know, a Samsung 55-inch Arc, the curved ones next to each other. But I don't necessarily need them for trading. It looks cool on YouTube.
Yeah. Do you do it the vertical arc?
The vertical, yeah,
really?
yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I saw that monitor. It looks like I have the 55-inch Samsung, the widescreen. It's not the Arc one though. I don't think it's just the
wide, the long, the super long, slim. Yeah. It's purely for social media, right? For YouTube, so it looks cool as a background.
Yeah, you gotta play the game. Unfortunately, you have to play the game, or you're not gonna get attention.
Yeah, you have to play the game. I mean, it has to look nice at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
It's just like a studio, it's like an office, so it's okay.
So when you got started, what was kind of the assets that you were getting into, and like, did you find a mentor, or do you just kind of go wing it on your own and kind of figure it out?
No.
What was the path?
Yeah, so I immediately found, actually, through some contacts of mine, I found some former floor traders, one from Chicago and one from New York Stock Exchange. And I actually learned from them right from the beginning. I had like a mentor who took me on their hands, and, you know, I learned directly from them. And so I started actually trading off, as I said, stocks, but pretty quickly I realized, so I was basically literally a blank sheet when I started off. And I think that was also beneficial because I didn't have to unlearn the bad habits that I have. And nowadays, I see like with our students at the campus, I see like a lot of people come in with bad habits because they have a lot of trading experience beforehand. And for them, they're struggling unlearning the bad habits. Yeah. So I think for me, it was definitely beneficial to be like a blank sheet and learning straight from a real mentor, from a real coach, from a real trader, right? Former floor traders.
There's probably also a lot of benefit in that sense that now there's so much more distraction to potentially, you might see somebody on social media talk about their strategy and them posting something, and that strays you from your path. Whereas if you were getting mentored by someone individually, especially with experience on a floor, you don't have all this social media bullshit saying, hey, come look at what we're doing over here. You're just on a straight line with the mentor that you were with.
Yes, and I mean, this is a different story, but during that basically educational journey, I deleted all my social media profiles just not to get distracted. Also, basically, because I had to sacrifice some time for my learning journey because I still had a corporate job. I had family, a wife, right? Yeah. So I had to find some time. And for me, basically, it was basically, okay, how can I find some time in my busy day-to-day life? So it was like, okay, I waste a lot of money on Google, Amazon, social media. So let me delete my social media profiles to save like 1-2 hours a day. And I can spend these 1-2 hours like learning trading.
Yeah. And what was, do you think, the philosophy or logic that you took from these guys that were experienced floor traders that you kind of evolved into your strategy today?
There are a lot of aspects. Well, in a nutshell, so the way how I trade is basically that so nowadays what I realized when it comes to trading, people like to classify themselves, right? Whether they are like scalpers, day traders, or swing traders.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just a trader by trade. I make money trading, so I don't care about these classifications. But since we have to classify ourselves nowadays, I would consider myself swing trading.
Yeah.
So quote unquote higher time frame trader. My execution time frame is daily time frame, and I'm trading by the philosophy set and forget and get alive. So get alive meaning I do my analysis during the weekend, and then I place my trades on Monday, and during the week, I literally need like 15 to 30 minutes a day maximum to just do like some trade management, look at the charts, see what price is doing, but I don't need more time. Yeah. And all these traders that I learned from were also like quote unquote higher time frame traders. Although for me, I don't consider this higher time frame, but in the social media space, when you hear like he's executing on a daily time frame, that's higher time frame.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the monthly chart would be higher time frame. It's always like just a different perspective, right? But when it comes to social media space, it's like daily charts, you're executing on daily charts. My higher time frame is 15 minutes, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's also in the Forex space. Most people are scalping Forex as opposed to swing trading because the moves are pretty small on Forex. So to swing trade, it's a little bit more difficult to get a good percentage gain unless you're sizing up quite a bit.
So there are a few more things that I learned immediately. So that in terms of, KPIs, key performance indicators, that it's actually quite simple, right? So I look at only 3 things. Like since my very beginning, it's basically risk to reward ratio in conjunction with risk to reward ratio in conjunction with win-loss ratio, but risk to reward ratio, as we all know as traders, weights much, much higher than a win-loss ratio, right? And then use on top a fixed dollar risk approach. So otherwise, if you don't have a fixed dollar risk approach and you're like random with your risk parameters, then your entire KPI system is completely useless. Because then you cannot measure risk to reward. So I think my benefit, and that's why my learning journey was rather smooth. I learned all the right tools very much from the beginning, and that's why I made progress rather fast compared to people nowadays, I would say. So actually everything I'm using today, I incorporated from my mentors, like literally everything, like my fundamental approach to get a bias in the market, my technical approach to time the market, my KPI monitoring system, how I measure performance, how I scale up my business, and all these kind of things I literally learned from my mentors. And I'm just, I just tweaked here and there a little bit and improved myself, because as a trader, it's like we evolve as traders, we get better over time, obviously, like in any other profession. So yes, literally everything I took over.
Yeah, I think mentors are quite underrated, and most people, I think, are fearful about spending money on it because they're scared that if it's going to be worth it or not. But it's also, I think, one of the biggest contributors to like the 98 to 99+% failure rate in trading is that there is no barrier for entry. Like, I think about it as kind of like trading, the only people who make money are professional traders.
100%.
And when you look, say if you go to like a basketball game and you're someone in the crowd, there's only a small group of people that are actually capable of playing that game at a professional level. But everybody in that stand can be like, in the trading world, be like, hey, I kind of want to go down there and see if I can compete. Okay, well, are you good? No, not really. I've never done this before. Well, you probably aren't going to be able to compete in a professional league without going through the 10 years that these guys went through to got there, with mentors, with coaches. But in the trading world, you can come from the stands and get on that court today and give it your best shot. And I think that's why there's such a big failure rate, because people don't go through the process that those pros went through to get to that stage.
Yeah. No, like I can 100% echo what you say. Like that's why it's so crazy to me that trading is the only profession in the world where there's no accreditation system to get into and everybody can just jump into that, right?
Yeah.
And that's why for me it's misleading when it says like 80 to 90% of traders fail in the business. No, that's not true, because again, we have to define what is a trader, and we just talked about that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
These people who fail, they are not traders. I would call them market participants.
Yeah.
Right? They are just the ones that are in for the quick money. They are not educated. They are not skilled at all. They have no freaking idea what they're doing. Although they think they know what they're doing, they have no freaking idea what they're doing. And eventually they made maybe a lucky shot. We call it always the lucky beginners phenomenon, right? You make like maybe, it's basically like you get into the market, you make money once, you get back into the market, you make money twice, you think, oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Like, you risk more money, right?
Yeah.
You become more greedy. It's like, okay, you jump from a building, you survive. What you do next? You jump from a higher building. Right?
Yeah.
But eventually
The
you're gonna
revenge trading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, because all trading really is a wealth transfer, and you actually need those market participants because when you're making money,
100%.
it's not just coming out of thin air. You're taking it from someone else who is losing. And so, like, I look at it, the market as a big money pool, like a big circle. These are all the market participants. There's 2% of traders or less that are pulling that money out and actually keeping some of that profit. The 98% are just feeding, either that stays in the money pool and gets circulated with more losers, or they exit eventually and go back to the start and either walk away and never come back, or they deposit more money and that money just continues to circulate with losers in the money pool, or 2% or less are siphoning the money out continuously.
It's funny, maybe it's our age, but we have the same analogy basically.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's where we are coming from, because my analogy is trading is basically a poker table.
Yeah.
It's like circling around the poker table, right?
Yeah.
And it's not trading at the end of the day is a zero-sum game. For every buy transaction, you need a sell transaction. For every sell transaction, you need a buy transaction. So you need these market participants to get into the zero-sum game.
Yeah. So I saw a clip from your Words of Wisdom podcast that I wanted to have you elaborate a little bit more on, because I agree, but also disagree in some senses. But I guess it's by way of maybe not being able to classify what this is. And you were talking about psychology is completely overrated and skill is everything. Meaning that if you don't have this, the psychology shouldn't even be a problem if you had the skill. But in my sense, when I look at this, I guess we got to classify what skill is. And so for me, skill is basically the ability to implement a system. But the only way, and that just boils down to, can you click buy and sell when you need to? Can you actually follow your plan based on whatever system you're trading? And that all boils down to discipline. And for me, discipline is nothing more than psychology, which for me, it all stems from, I guess there's two prongs. There's the system, psychology, discipline, execution, and then it meets in the middle. So can you clarify what you meant by psychology being overrated?
Yeah, I can maybe elaborate a little bit on that and make an analogy as well. So right now, I would not have the confidence and I would not have the psychology to fly an airplane.
Yeah.
Right? So now if I went into an airplane and I would crash it, I cannot, I could not. So people what they do is like, oh, my psychology was not good. That's why I crashed the airplane. But however, hey, I read so many books about flying an airplane, and hey, I played Microsoft Flight Simulator for like 2 years, but my psychology was not good. That's why I crashed the plane. That's my analogy.
Yeah.
So obviously, why is my psychology not good flying an airplane? Why I'm not confident flying an airplane? Because I'm not freaking skilled.
Yeah.
Right? So if now somebody teaches me how to fly an airplane from the scratch and I get proper training for a year or 2 years, then I'm getting skilled. And then I'm building the confidence. And with the confidence, then comes all the psychological aspects, the positive psychological aspects as well.
Yeah.
And you build confidence, you build disciplines by your routine.
Yeah.
If this makes sense in a way, this analogy. So it's like so skill has to come always first. Without skill, there cannot be confidence, there cannot be discipline. How can you apply disciplines if you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's always like skill first, then comes the discipline afterwards. Is psychology, mindset important? 100%. I'm not disregarding that. I'm not neglecting that. I'm just saying what they usually do is like, and that's the problem, they're finger pointing. They're finger pointing why they're failing in trading.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the system is not good. Oh, the mentor is a scam. Oh, this is not working. Oh, I'm actually quite good, but my psychology sucks.
Yeah.
No, you're just not freaking skilled.
You're just not good at trading.
You're just not good at trading. You're just not You're just not skilled enough yet. So that's my whole point. So skill first and the psychology afterwards. You cannot build psychology first and then the skill. It just doesn't work in any
I guess
profession.
in the sense that's also like people a lot of times ask, how do you build confidence? You build confidence by winning. And I mean, you can believe in yourself, but if you continually lose, then it's going to be continuously harder to build confidence. And the strongest confidence comes by proving yourself that you can do it.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's my whole take.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I guess for me, there is the aspect of, yes, you have to have skill. And I guess skill, in your sense, is classified by practicing the discipline. And then, but like from my aspect is, I guess it's just the psychology is like the thing that's getting in the way from you building the skill.
Yeah. It's so funny that you just say it, because I just wanted to say, yes, from that perspective, it's absolutely right. Because what hinders people from getting started is sometimes the courage, the psychology, the mindset in terms of, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
But this is, for me, it's a different topic. Hey, I don't get even started because I don't have the courage to get started. I don't believe in myself. That's a different way of mindset to get started, right?
Yeah.
But once you get started, it's like you have to build skill first.
Yeah. So, you're pretty, I think you kind of blew up on social media from the initial part from being the record holder on FTMO.
That's correct. Yes.
So what does that mean? What are you the record holder?
So I'm the all-time record holder, the world record holder in terms of leaderboard appearances, more than 120 leaderboard appearances, but only in 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Right? Accomplished all of that in 1.5 years, because I went into prop trading only in 2022. Right? So
Yeah.
This is when I got to know about prop trading.
Yeah.
By coincidence, I would say. So that's basically my world record, the all-time record holder in terms of leaderboard appearances.
And what is classified as the leaderboard appearance? Like, what is it based on? Just profits within a certain time frame?
Yes, profits within a certain time frame.
Yeah. And how much have you had profit on FTMO?
Overall, I would need to lie. I have no idea in terms of how much profits I had overall. But during that period, I had roughly $200,000.
Yeah.
Because I'm also not necessarily, the way how I trade and what I encourage everyone to do is not to be too money focused and more like process oriented.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, it's more like, because I'm trading now so many prop firms and so many accounts, because sometimes I get asked, how much money did you overall accumulate through prop firms? And I really don't know. Is it 900K? Is it 1.2 million? It's roughly close to $1 million, but I don't really know because I'm really not I really mean it when I say I'm really not money focused. I'm always process oriented.
Yeah.
So I'm trading my KPI system. And for me, it's really because I realized during my career that once I'm money focused, that I'm losing my edge in terms of then my psychology a bit, because I'm chasing the money, versus when I don't care about the money, and just trading the process, then the money comes just automatically, because at the end, money is just a result of following your process.
I think what happens a lot of times with people, myself included, is you start trading the P&L instead of the charts or the technical analysis of what the charts are setting you.
That's a problem. Yeah, that's what I realized when I trade the P&L and not the chart. It's like you get out way too early, whereas the chart, has so much more space to go your way. And and that's why I'm always trying to avoid looking at the P&L, because
I would like to have it be an option on your broker to just blur it out. Be like, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Show me like just my levels, my supply and demand zones. I don't want to see what my P&L is. All I want to know is that I risk only max 2% or whatever percentage risk I want, and where my TPs and SL is. Yeah. But I don't want to know anything about the P&L until the trade is closed. Then I'll go look. Yeah. But it's in my face the whole time I'm trading. Okay. It's like the thing front and center.
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit different. It works quite well because, through all these... So I do my analysis. You might know the broker because you're from the States. TradeStation. It's like a Florida-based...
I never used it, but I'm familiar.
Okay, exactly. So I'm using that because it's a futures institutional broker. I'm using that basically since day one. So my entire analysis is based on futures. So I use it. That's why I use that broker, and their platform is called TradeStation. And then I just basically transfer all my orders in my prop firm accounts. And then I never look back. So basically, if I have like an MT5 account where I then just place my orders, my entry, my set, my entry, my stop loss, and my target, I place it and I let it play out basically. And I just do a little bit of trade management when I move my stop loss to break even, and maybe, then let's say I'm up 1 to 2 in terms of risk to reward. I'm moving my stop loss further to 1 to 1 and secure like 1R, right?
Yeah.
So I measure for the audience to understand, so the way how I measure my profits or my performance is based through the risk to reward system, through the R system. How many R's I collect throughout the month, throughout a month, and how many R's I collect throughout the year. So that's my performance measuring system.
Yeah. We talked about MT5 a little bit at dinner last night, about how it's basically designed to make you fail as a trader, because a lot of Forex brokers profit off of that. They de-book everyone unregulated, and they can profit by people depositing, and then they lose all their money, and they never even take the trades live, and they're all trading on MT5. But on MT5, there's no risk management system that's implemented, and it's a very confusing and archaic system as well. What are your thoughts on MT5?
Yeah, it's insane, and that's exactly showcases to me the reason why in the Forex space so many people fail, and because MT5 is still the most popular platform to trade on, and people asking for that platform, whereas you cannot even calculate your position size on that platform. You need a third-party tool to calculate your position size, which is for me insane. When I first saw that, I was like, that must be Stone Age. That cannot be real. Are people really using that? Do I have now to use it if I trade like CFDs and Forex? Are you guys serious? And then you hear other people talking about, influencers talking about, that's the best platform in the world, etc. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, it really makes no sense.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
I didn't start doing anything in Forex up until about maybe 2 years ago, just to dabble. And I'd been using modern stock trading platforms, TradingView, and all the crypto exchanges. And I go and see what's going on in MT5. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This looks like it was created 30 years ago, and they never updated it.
I had the same thought. What the what the F is that? Yeah, it's insane. Yeah.
So what are you, I guess you're mainly using TradeStation. Are you using anything else? Especially because on prop firms, I don't think TradeStation is
No. So that's why TradeStation, I just do purely for my analysis purpose. So I have also, not me, but me and my team, we have developed our own proprietary indicators tool, forecasting tools that are derived from fundamentals. So we basically, and TradeStation has their own coding language. It's called Easy Language, and we coded them on TradeStation. So we can plot these tools on TradeStation only. And that's why our entire ecosystem is basically based on TradeStation, where we do the entire analysis. And then I basically just, again, transfer my trades on any kind of prop firm account, whether it's like nowadays MT4 or MT5, Trade Locker. What else do I use? DX Trade, and is there one more? There must be
C-Trader.
C-Trader as well. So
C-Trader,
they are all like really good in terms of you can really instantly place your trade and measure basically how much you want to risk on percentage or on a monetary value. So it's very simple to use these platforms versus MT4. MT5 is really like the worst of the worst.
It's so bad.
From a professional perspective.
It's basically gotten kicked out of the prop space, which I think is a good thing.
It's a good thing, yes.
As far as for a trader. But ICT.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
You want to cover all the controversial topics. Perfect, man. It's okay. I don't mind, really.
Yeah.
And that's I really like to speak the truth. Like, I don't mind. I'm not holding back. I don't care. And most of the things that I'm saying in the public eye is very unpopular.
Yeah.
I'm talking what we haven't talked about ICT yet, but obviously you're asking, so I'm not like a big proponent about of ICT, and you will hear that in a second. And like also swing trading, that I'm saying swing trading is so much superior to scalping and day trading, and I'm saying you cannot build consistency in scalping. It's not sustainable, and it's definitely not scalable. So I say all these things that are in the social media space very unpopular, but I think people also like me for being authentic, being myself.
I think day trading and scalping is popular because it's appealing. It's like you make X amount of dollars in under a minute.
That's the notion. That's the notion of making money in a second. That's the notion of it. Like, oh, I'm getting in front of a chart. There's that 1 minute candle. I go short or long. I make like $1,000 in like a few minutes, and then I'm done for the day. Right? That's like the notion of scalping.
Yeah, it can be like I was relatively consistent in day trading for probably about a decade in stocks, and I would live stream it for probably 7 years straight.
That's okay. So sorry to interrupt you. We have to differentiate between day trading and scalping.
Yeah.
So scalping for me is anything between 1 and 5 minutes, which I really disregard as being like people can.
Mine was a 90-minute time frame.
90.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So day trading, I would classify as 60 to 240 minute time frame execution. And yes, day trading can be consistent. Day trading is also scalable in a way, but we talked about this at dinner as well, but it's also training at some point of time, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of day traders who do that for like a long period of time, they then transition naturally into swing trading because of the positive aspects that swing trading have.
Yeah, because I guess I also kind of got stuck in it for a while because that was my marketing, was trade the market open, 90 minutes, you're done for the day, and that's it. But I live streamed it for probably 6-7 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
5 days a week, probably maybe missed like 2 days out of that, whether I was sick or doing something else. But yeah, it was a fucking burnout, man.
Yeah.
And then I regretted starting the live stream, because then other people started doing the live stream too, and then I couldn't stop because now everybody else is doing it.
Yeah,
because I think I was one of the first to
social
start
media
live
pressure.
streaming.
Yeah,
Like, why aren't you live streaming anymore?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, why'd I start this? This is awful.
No, I get your point. Yeah. So that's why I think day trading is absolutely okay, right? I don't have anything against day trading. My point is that all these scalping methods are just, it just doesn't work. And I always say any system works sometimes, but it's nothing that you can be where you can make consistently money month over month over month, and definitely not scale up your business where, try to take $10,000 of risk per trade or more on a 1 minute chart.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah. You can instantly lose your max loss.
Exactly.
Extremely quick. So like when I swing trade, if I have max 2% risk per trade, I will enter in either quarters or even thirds of that 2% or even less. Like I'll enter 0.25% of that 2% and then scale down in a ladder to allow myself, because I don't know when this fucking thing's going to bottom out. So what is your...
No, I have a different approach there. So basically for me, it's literally like set and forget, where I place one entry, one stop loss, one target. And so I have $4 million in prop firm capital, not 4 million anymore, but because, I had 1 million research trader, they went down 400K. Not my fault, 400K was a true Forex fund, they went down, I have less, but well, now I'm doing that challenge, right? That challenge documentary, that live challenge documentary on YouTube.
Can you tell us a little bit more, explain what that is?
Yes. So what I'm doing is, do you want me to also explain prop? I think people are aware, like on your channel, of prop trading.
You can give it in a nutshell, because a lot of people, I haven't done much talking about props firm space on this.
Okay,
channel.
so just really briefly in a nutshell, through prop firms, you can get funded capital.
Yeah.
All right. So, but to get funded, you need to do challenges, tests, and these challenges are usually the two-step evaluations where you trade the market, but in a demo environment.
Yeah.
And I'm doing these challenges live on YouTube, where I call the trades that I'm taking on my challenges live beforehand, so everybody can potentially copy these trades as well. And they see basically my approach to these challenges, how I trade them, how much risk I took, how I take. So everything, like fully from A to Z, fully transparent.
Yeah.
And I'm doing what has never been done. I got $2.1 million in challenge value across 6 different prop firms.
Yeah.
And I copy all these trades manually, basically, in these different on these different platforms, because it's like I think I trade on 3 or 4 different platforms across these.
We got to get you a Hydra account, bro.
I can. So actually, it's funny because I passed already $1.9 million. It's already passed, done, booked. I have 200K left on Funder Pro because it's a 10% profit target. And, when I was just before we arrived, I'm in a silver short. So it was very close. I'm not sure. I would need to get my mobile to see maybe if the target was hit during our podcast.
Yeah.
So then I'm done with the challenges.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm already thinking, what's next? What can I do next? So can I top this? I'm always up for challenges, like to showcase my skill and to be transparent, and I'm also always for, that's what I'm basically want to do, is set a new standard in the entire industry. Like, what does it mean being transparent? What does it mean showing us certifications and all these kind of things? So I'm down for, another prop firm challenge documentary, whatever it is, like maybe we can I can collect 3 million of prop firm challenge value and do another, because people really like that. People really love that. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So but coming back to the initial question was, so my approach is basically, so let's assume I have $4 million and 4 million plus minus whatever in prop firm capital. So I copy then these trades manually. So what I do is basically take 1% risk per trade, which is then $40,000 overall. And I basically copy them. So I have $40,000 risk per trade then.
Yeah. So your time frame is slow enough that you can execute that on all the platforms. And even if there's price differences, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's not big. It's not that. So because I'm executing on a daily time frame for my zone, so I get biased fundamentally, and then I technically, based on supply and demand, that's what I'm using just to time the market, to place my set entry stop loss target. And this is basically then I just, based on my analysis, this is then pretty easy to time it, although there is some price difference based on market, based on broker, based on platform. Yes, but because, I don't have to be executing on a daily time frame. I don't have to be too accurate with price.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So I also wanted to talk to you. I had an interesting question about, you obviously have a family. I don't have a family. I have a girlfriend. And as a single man, you're just taking care of yourself. So you have certain goals. Then you have a girlfriend. Those responsibilities and goals kind of change because now you're thinking about the life that you're sharing with that person. I have never been married, but I'm sure that also changes goals and responsibilities. My main question is, now that you have a child, has that shifted your goals and perspective on life?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's day and night, right? I'm getting goosebumps if I think about it. No, like literally, like it's crazy because everything I do for my daughter. Her name is Evangeline. She's 9 years old now. Everything I do is just for her. Right? Yeah. It's like she is the most important human being and thing in my entire in the entire universe, basically, in a nutshell. So yes, it makes you way more mature and see things from a different perspective. And again, that's why all this what people showcase on social media, all these materialistic things. That's why it's so cringe for me, because that's not real value. That's, for me, it's like the family aspect. That's real value.
Yeah, I'm sure my goals and responsibilities and perspective on life will change quite a bit when I have a child, whatever that may be. 39, almost 40. You're 40. So I guess you had a kid at 32? 31?
Yeah, no, yeah, 30, 31-ish. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Was it planned or is it like...
It just happened.
It just
And
happened.
I think,
You're like, hey,
that's
let's do
actually
this.
good because I also, that's a very philosophical discussion now, but, I think there's never the right time.
Yeah.
And it just happens when it happens. And, it was just perfect, yeah.
Yeah, I actually got my my sperm frozen in Bangkok because I started doing TRT.
Okay.
So it's like, they're like, if you take TRT, you might lose your ability to have kids. It's like, shit, maybe I should freeze my eggs or my sperm before I...
might be a good idea, yeah.
Just in case. But I feel like that would be weird to artificially implant for pregnancy. I feel like that would just kind of feel unnatural to me.
No, I don't know. I cannot comment on that.
But just in case, I don't take TRT anymore, so I'm probably good. But I don't know.
I don't know. So, for me, that's the biggest thing in the world, and I would do anything for her. So
yeah. What about Dubai? So you went from Germany and ended up in Dubai. What's it like? Living in Dubai for the last, I think, 14 years?
Yes, I moved to Dubai. I moved to Dubai 2009, actually, before everybody else moved, before there was anything in Dubai, basically. There was only one landmark, and that was the Bush Al Arab, the Sail, the only 7-star hotel in the world, exactly. So for me, Dubai is now home, basically. I haven't been in Germany since 2019. And I really love Dubai for various aspects. So first of all, it's the business aspect. It's really easy and simple to do business. So that's what the Dubai government, the UAE government promotes as well heavily, to make it easy to make business in Dubai. But then on top, you have the pleasure aspect. It's so nice in Dubai as well. I love the beaches. I love the weather. I love the facilities, the hotels, the good food. I love that aspect as well.
Yeah.
And the third aspect that you can not disregard, that is actually really important for me nowadays, because I have also a daughter, is now I'm also traveling places, right? I'm on that podcast tour, and I'm going to Africa. I went to Africa. I went to the US, LA, Miami. That Dubai is, I think, the safest place on this planet.
Yeah,
it's having a kid, having a daughter, and feeling safe. You cannot disregard. You only feel that, what it means feeling super safe and not have to worry about anything, going out at night or leaving your mobile on the table or your wallet or anything like that. Once you travel places and once you really experience that kind of safety in that country. So that's what I value. And my daughter growing up in that environment is, for me, perfect.
Yeah. What about your thoughts on the US when you were just there?
Wow, US, freaking expensive, especially Miami. We had this discussion also during dinner last night. It's weird because before I moved to Dubai, I also studied 1 year in Santa Barbara, actually, at the UCSB. And for me, this was Santa Barbara itself. It's like what I always say, it's like a bubble in a bubble in California. Right? California is already a bubble in a way, but then Santa Barbara or some places in California are a bubble within a bubble, right? It's like super protected. It's like not representing the real US. But once you're like in the US, now when I went to the US, I still loved it. I still liked it, but also for sentimental reasons, because I went back to my old university.
Yeah, I think I saw your social post.
So
like,
the place,
you standing outside of this place playing beer pong or some shit.
17 years ago, I studied there, and they looked exactly the same. It's like it's like yesterday. It's
deja vu.
Deja vu. It was like a full deja vu. So for sentimental reasons, I still love it, but I would not want to live there anymore. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't feel, I don't know. I just didn't feel 100% comfortable in a way. It's hard to describe. It's still nice, but it feels dirty. It feels not 100% safe. I don't know. It's too loud. It's just everything.
I saw you were hanging out in like Venice Beach.
Yeah,
Venice Beach is a fucking shithole.
No, but why did I stay in Venice Beach and not like somewhere fancy in Beverly Hills or somewhere, downtown LA? Because on my bucket list was always to train at Gold's Gym. Yeah. Because I'm like, I do fitness my whole life, and this is like,
Yeah, you're pretty ripped, man.
Yes, still having a six pack.
Yeah.
No, that's a big aspect of my life. And so on my bucket list was always like to train at Muscle Beach and to train at Gold's Gym. And so I cut this now from my bucket list. That's why I stayed at Venice, because I wanted to feel and breathe that iconic fitness bodybuilding lifestyle.
The epicenter of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Exactly. So that's why I stayed in Venice. So because I wanted to experience that.
Yeah. There's an area of Venice that I really like, actually, called Abbot Kinney. Did you go?
No,
Abbot Kinney?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a really cool street with like awesome cafes and restaurants.
Okay.
So if you ever go back, Abbot Kinney is the street in Venice that's really nice.
Maybe I went there and I just didn't.
Yeah. Literally like this one little street with like cool restaurants and cafes. But also, you're building a place in Thailand. What's going on with that situation?
So yes, I'm building a second home in Koh Samui, which is a small island next to Thailand. It belongs to Thailand, obviously. So so it's just going to be a home, basically holiday home for now.
Yeah.
For us, a getaway place, and that's kind of in a way a childhood dream come true. Because when I was young, I always dreamt of, living this quote unquote Robinson Crusoe lifestyle on the beach, surrounded by coconut palms and mango trees and no neighbors. I like being for myself. I'm a kind of, you would not, because I'm a very introvert person.
Yeah, same.
So I don't mind being for myself. So building this villa in the middle of nowhere, directly on the beach, surrounded by palm trees, and kind of living this Robinson Crusoe lifestyle is like a childhood dream come true, and it feels like surreal still a little bit when I go there and check the construction site, and it's like the peacefulness, the silence, and it's going to be completely self-sustainable. We're going to put solar panels on top. We have like 150 meters. We drain down 150 meters to get like groundwater, so everything is. If the world is going down, I still have water and I still have energy.
Yeah,
and I can still live on the beach. I can feed myself with coconuts and mangoes. I'm good. So so that's for me like a childhood dream come true, and I'm super proud that I accomplished that in a way that I don't know. 15 years ago, I would have never dreamed about that. Like that I can do that. Yeah,
that's funny that you're talking about the sustainability part, and part of me has like thought about that. Like, shit, what if we had like a real pandemic? I should like plan for that in some way. Like I need, like, my walls are pretty high here, but maybe I should build them even higher, like, and then build a bunker underneath. Just in case. But with what you're saying there, I feel like there's like, you're talking about being on the beach alone, having your coconut. Have you ever thought about retirement and what that means? Because for me, retirement, like that's kind of like the vision of what retirement is, right? Sitting on the beach with the beer or a coconut, just being done and not doing anything. But I think that dream looks so appealing for most people because they're in the 9-to-5 corporate world, and their idea of retirement is like, fuck, I finally don't have to do any of this bullshit that I've been doing for so long. But when you think of retirement, like, what does that look like for you? Because when I think about it, I'm like, shit, I'd be so bored. What am I going to do?
No, and I really appreciate and love this philosophical discussion, because I think this is really important as well. So honestly speaking, once I quit my corporate job, this is when I retired.
Yeah.
Right? Trading is not a job for me, it's a passion. And I want to trade for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And people might not know that, and well, I've mentioned it in some of the most recent podcasts, that after I quit my job, that's what I did. I lay on the beach, went from beach club to beach club, and didn't do shit.
Yeah.
And I literally didn't do shit. And in the beginning, it felt really good, and it felt also like I felt proud that I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
But at some point, you feel useless as fuck. Sorry for my language.
Yeah.
You feel bored. You feel like, okay, now where's my purpose? And I definitely don't build legacy right now because I'm not doing shit.
Yeah.
Right. And that aspect of, purpose, and especially now also legacy, building a name for myself that stays after generations, right, is really the two most important pillars why I'm still going where I'm going and still pushing, and why when people ask, why are you not just chilling at the beach 24/7? That's I did that, and I can tell the notion of that is nice, but once you've been there, you feel bored
Life
as
is
fuck,
over.
and it's like useless. And when you go, so for me, I always when I go to bed at night and I review my day, like what did I accomplish? And during that period of time, I felt like I didn't accomplish shit.
Yeah.
So I was basically just, okay, I need to build. I'm a person who needs to build.
Yeah.
Right? That motivates me. And this is what drives me every morning. And so, yeah, now with all of that, what I'm doing, it's obviously also a reason why I'm on that podcast tour. It's just, I just love doing that. I love to network, meet new people. You know, before, you know, you contacted me, I didn't know you. And now we're like, hey, I'm building a relationship with you and building relationship with all these other cool traders. That's so amazing. It's invaluable, right? You cannot put a price tag on all these things that I experience right now.
Yeah.
And so overall, in a nutshell, I would say purpose and legacy is so important for me personally, and that's why I'm doing all these things. So yes, so I retired once I quit my job, because that is now just the icing on the cake.
Yeah. No, I think everyone needs purpose in some sense. And I also think that's also why religion is so popular. I don't know. I'm not religious. I don't know if you are at all. But I think the reason why it's captured so many people in a very impactful way is it gives them a sense of purpose where in their normal life they have none. Whereas their normal life, they're going day to day with not much purpose. Maybe they're stuck in a 9 to 5, but through religion, they feel like they have purpose and a mission to serve God, or that even though this life sucks, there's something better on the other side of death.
Yes.
Where for me, I think I'm going to rot in the ground and turn into bacteria. So, this is all I get for myself. So I guess that puts a little more pressure on me to find purpose here while I have it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. 100%. So purpose is everything, and people only understand that, I think, once they, so yeah, because as you said, most people in the corporate world, they don't feel that purpose, right? They just have that routine, that 9 to 5 day to day, and this is how they lose. And this is how people, I also believe, that's how people are getting burned out. That's how they're getting, so many people nowadays fall into desperation, right? It's crazy. They're desperate about their lives and stuff like that. But if you have purpose, I cannot imagine feeling burned out or feeling desperate.
It's that's what drives motivation is when you have purpose and you want to do it.
100%.
Whereas most people do things like even doing YouTube stuff. For me, I've done it for 15 years and I got my account taken down. Now it's back, but like doing the kind of stuff that I used to do that worked for marketing, that's me just doing it to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. It's not fun for me. This is more fun for me. I can do this, having a good conversation. Like this is something that's sustainable for me. That gives me a little bit more purpose for networking through growing my social media brand without me having to sacrifice my authenticity to create something or an image for social media. So yeah, I definitely reached burnout on YouTube. I'm sure you probably will too at some point. You've only been doing it for a year, but I've been doing this for you started off when you were really young. So you went through that all, that's what you told me at least. I don't know for a fact, but you know, you told me that you went through that show off stage as well, like expensive cars and, you know, all that flashy stuff. And then you obviously, the older you became, right, you changed, you evolved as a person as well. So you changed your approach to social media as well, right? Whereas I just started 1 year ago. So I started off with immediately like just... You started off mature.
Exactly, mature and just purely educational. So I don't think this will change in any way or form, right? Because I'm just... My content is purely educational. Now we are filming all these vlogs as well. Because I'm traveling. So for me, these vlogs that I'm filming right now, wherever I'm going, I'm filming a vlog, day in a life, week in a life of a trader, you name it. But for me, it's more like actually, to be honest, yes, we put this on YouTube and it's for the audience, but it's also for myself. Because I feel like it must be so cool, like in 10 years from now, to look back at these videos. My daughter sees them, I see them. It's like, That's insane. It's like a photo album in a way.
Yeah,
For me, it's like a memory.
A big documentary of old stuff to go look at as well. It's interesting for sure.
No, it's crazy because I looked at the YouTube channel and I saw like your first video was like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
It must be crazy to look back at these videos and like, what did I even say there? Like,
I look different. I act different.
You know?
It's like, it's crazy. Yeah.
No, that's why I'm doing all of that. For me, it's like really like capturing memory at the moment, in the moment.
So Online Training Campus is your educational platform. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what that is and what kind of value that brings and what can somebody expect from being a member there?
Yes, so we founded Online Training Campus, we as a team, it's not only me, more than 4 years ago in actually 2019. So we established actually a licensed investment consultancy in Dubai that is regulated by the UAE, by the United Arab Emirates government. So we are a regulated investment consultancy, and with that investment consultancy, we are providing trading education. So we are not like, and again...
Did you have to do that, or is that just something you wanted to do?
You don't have to do that, right? You can just you can just open up any company, right? And you basically create a Telegram channel or whatsoever, and you offer signals and you sell something for $50 and then, or a pre-recorded 3-hour course and you sell it to people, and that's so sad when it comes to educational space nowadays, because that's when people ask me so much. As I get that question so quite often. How much is your course? It's like, I'm not offering a freaking course. I'm having this entire ecosystem. We as a company, we have more than 20 employees nowadays. We have a big office in Dubai, a very nice place. We have more than 20 employees. It's like a proper company. We are proper institution where we offer like an entire ecosystem where people, once they are part of the academy, they have lifetime access to all the tools that we offer, to our forecasting tools, to our course material where we teach all assets, basically Forex, stocks, futures, strategy, whatnot. And we have daily live trading sessions, up to 4 daily live trading sessions that last like every session 1 hour, where we do practical application, building skill, but also doing live trading. I'm doing my weekend outlooks where people then basically see what kinds of trades I want to take, and they can basically copy my trades. So the entire basically ecosystem is we created for people to evolve as a trader from literally A to Z. And we also give people lifetime access, because I firmly believe that you cannot put a timeline on somebody's educational journey, whether it's like 12 months, 16 months, 16 months, or 24 months. It doesn't exist like that. You cannot just offer something and then, okay, now you paid, you took my course, now after 3 months, bye-bye. So whatever you need now, it's not, I don't care, right? So that's why we offer that lifetime, basically, that lifetime membership for people, just to be like, because trading at the end of the day is also a lifetime journey, because you at some point of time, yes, you're consistent, you are consistent, you are skilled, but again, you want to scale up your business, and this is always like another challenge once you start scaling up your business. So overall, this is what people can expect at Online Training Campus. So we have our own ecosystem. We are a real company. We are a legit firm. And they have everything from A to Z to basically become a consistent, profitable trader.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, I think we can probably wrap it up on that. But I guess one last question would be for any new trader who's interested in getting started. What would be your one piece of advice that you would give them, or mistakes that you made along the way?
That's always now the same advice, actually. When we touched on that during the conversation, is stop focusing on money and get immediately, right from the beginning, focus on process, get process oriented, focus on 3 things: risk to reward versus win-loss ratio. But risk to reward is way more important than win-loss ratio. And then take a fixed dollar risk amount, fixed dollar risk approach. That's your process. And then money is just a result of basically following the process correctly, and then money will just come automatically. And from there, you can build and scale.
Yeah, I think most people approach it with the get rich quick approach, when the only people that make money in trading are the people who get rich slow.
Exactly, 100%. It's short-lived. That get rich quick approach, right? And these people are giving
that's how all the Lambo boys make money.
And the problem, right? Even if you make like, and it's not about getting it's not getting 150K prop firm payout, because if you get like one lucky shot, if you get that 50K prop firm payout, but you never learn risk and money management, it's very likely that you give that money, you lose that again. Like, so.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man. Pleasure
Cameron,
meeting
thank you so much for having me.
Out.
No, really loved the conversation.
Yeah,
thank
that was
you.
a good combo. All right, guys. See you in the next one.